And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Signposts Live. So looking forward to sharing all the great information with you today. This is going to be a viewer topics discussion webcast today. So again, it really is going to be through your questions and through the topics and subjects that you want to discuss today. And I'll have my tarot available. Got a brand new tarot deck here. So I'm going to open up and get it ready. And so, oops, let's make sure I take out the instruction book. It's a brand new tarot deck. My fiance got it for me because my other tarot is starting to get a little bit, a little bit rough. So just looking to get a new deck. And so this is going to be here based on some of the questions you have. I'll also be working with some intuitive insight at the same time with any particular questions that you guys have for today. First and foremost, before we get started with Signpost Live today, we're going to go ahead and begin with announcements.
Source Energy enhanced products to repair and rejuvenate the body. From the power of light, to crystals, to bed kits, card decks, and more. View our free samples, tutorials, and testimonials on our website, Etherics.co.
Get readings with Brianne and be astonished at the depth and accuracy she provides for you through her tarot readings. Brianne can create crystal grids for distance healing, plus offer Reiki and Kundalini attunements. She is also a certified Flying Star Feng Shui consultant. Visit Brianne's website and book your session today at readingswithbrianne.com.
Private one-to-one sessions have returned with Brad Johnson and Adronis, with appointment times from 30, 45, and 60 minutes online. Offline sessions including the 3 questions by email and distance healing are now available. Book your session now through our website, wisdomtransmissions.com.
Okay, so again, with Etherics.co, there's going to be some new discounts. Yesterday was the last day of the 22% long-term discount offer. Today I'm going to be modifying the website because there are going to be some new discounts available for certain products. So that will be available later on today. And again, you can check that out at Etherics.co. Speaking of Etherics.co, tomorrow I'll be doing another webcast, and that is going to be on the YouTube channel. The Etherics YouTube channel, it's youtube.com/@EthericsStore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be working together with the healing code cards, the Etherics card decks. All 3 of them are here. The body deck, the mind deck, and the energy deck. So I'll be working together with people who have any healing requests. So tomorrow is really kind of our distance healing webcast. So again, you can find it here on youtube.com/@ethericsstore. That is my second YouTube channel. You can go ahead and subscribe as well too, because that will be happening every single week. And I'll also be doing a giveaway at the same time. So tomorrow, there will be a live giveaway of an Etherics product. I'm not going to tell which one that is just yet, but there is going to be a giveaway. But you have to be a live attendee to apply for that giveaway. So it's going to be very exciting. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started with today's broadcast here. And we're going to go into comments. And as I always say, I always start off with the donation-based questions as well too. So if you do have a question, you want to leave a donation, then that will put your question in priority sequence. With everything else, I'll be, with no donation-based questions, I'll just be going down the list as they come. Okay, so let's take a look here at Ben's question first. So Ben says, "Greetings, Brad. Will there be greater food shortages or even a hunger crisis in Germany this fall or this winter?" Okay, well, let's take a look at that. Again, I'm kind of breaking in the new deck here. I'm going to start off with the tarot and then kind of look at this intuitively at the same time. So let's take a look and see what the tarot has to say. If there will be any food shortages or a hunger crisis in Germany this fall or winter. From what I can feel, it looks like things are going to be okay. It may not be, again, as exaggerated as some people may think is going to happen. I'm not really getting any devastating cards relating to the question, okay? So there will certainly be concerns about that. There will certainly be, and it's not to say that there won't be attempts to try to block out food supplies or certain things in that way, but the German people, I feel, are well prepared for any eventuality like that, right? The internal workings of Germany is quite strong. So I'm not really getting the feeling of it being a horrific disaster or being some type of hunger crisis. Again, if people are trying to tout that and give the impression that people of Germany are going to have food shortages or there's going to be starvation or hunger, I'm not really getting that. That's not what I'm really seeing here in the tarot. Like I said, I'm going to be looking at it intuitively as well too. But like I said, there may be discussions, there may be touting about this, there may be, again, threats of it happening. But no, I feel like the people of Germany will be okay. Okay, so I'm not sensing anything pertaining to a threat. It's not like I'm seeing sword cards here or the tower or anything of that nature. So I feel like the Germans will have this well in hand. Okay, so I'm not getting that. I'm not getting anything in regards to that. If anything, I feel like it's people being able to walk away from those who are making those threats, right? And like I said, there will be, like I said, it's a disinformation campaign right now, right? There's thousands and thousands of people saying thousands and thousands of different things, and people are getting scared about what they may be hearing. But again, what is being said and what's being done are two different things. So I'm just going to take a moment too and just look into Germany here for the fall and winter time. No, I see people standing tall. I see people standing strong. I see people standing against adversity, wherever that may be. If there is any threats of food crisis, if there's any threats of water supply problems, whatever it may be. This just shows, like I said, it's basically this information from the grapevine that gets people active. What? People are trying to say that there's going to be food shortages? Well, we're not going to let that happen, right? And it just feels like there's a big standing up. There's a resilience. It's kind of like I see the people of Germany in this big group, right? And they're kind of like their arms are crossed and say, we would never let that happen. We would never let our people go hungry. We'll never let that happen. We will never let anything pertaining to a government or a foreign invader or whatever it may be try to starve us. It's not going to work. It's not going to happen. Right? So that's kind of the feeling I'm getting with that, Ben. So I just personally, at this time, I don't see anything in regards to that taking place. Okay, so that's my perspective on it. But anyways, thank you very much for leaving the question. Okay, let's go down to Kamal. Okay, this is kind of a different question, Kamal, because we are really just focusing on current events today. Okay, I'll take it because it is a donation-based question. But just for everybody to know, we are doing a donation. We're doing a current events-based webcast. Okay, tomorrow is our healing episode. Okay, that's going to be on Etherics live stream. But like I said, I'll take it because it is a donation-based question. How to heal the gallbladder stone in elderly patients? Well, it doesn't really matter if they're elderly or if they're younger or anything of that nature. If there's gallbladder stones in that sense, then basically that's telling me that there's a lot of atrophy in the body. A lot of this comes from anger, right? The liver itself is also associated with great aggression, apprehension, anger. And what happens is when you start getting angry, the body starts to atrophy. And guys, we have chemical makeup. We can look at this through blood tests. We can look at this through many different means. When the body gets angry, the organs get impacted. A lot of gallbladder stones are actually caused by heavy emotional reactions, right? There can be dietary situations and so forth like that. Basically, in that sense, there are many different ways to help heal gallbladder stones, right? Some people will basically look into sound vibration, right? Breaking down the stones. Some people will even just go into meditation as well, too, and actually just starting to see the gallbladder stones breaking down, okay? Radiate is also very, very good to helping to heal gallbladder stones. So if you have the Radiate app, that could be good. Other particular remedies that can help to break down gallbladder stones, we may want to look into kind of like more mineralization, bringing more minerals into your body, right? So your sea moss, your moringa leaf, okay? Shilajit is another particular type of high mineral concentrated content that you can put into your body. Mineralization also helps to break down heavy gallbladder stones at the same time. So sea moss, moringa, having that in smoothies, these are also effective, okay? Also, the healing code cards are also designed to break down gallbladder stones as well, too. The body deck, okay? So you can use that with the liver enhancer. Liver enhancer is designed to help with gallbladder stones at the same time, okay? So there's a few different things there to help out, okay? Just depends on the person and sense about what they're open to and what's available. There's quite a few different answers, but it depends upon the person in question about what they're wanting to experiment and try and work with, okay? Thank you for your question. Okay, just checking to see if there are any other donation-based questions. Okay, that's all for now. So we're going to start off at the top of the chat here. And this one here is from Big Cat. Big Cat says, hello, Brad. Will Julian Assange be making big waves in the next few months? Okay, well, let's go ahead and check on him, see what he's up to. Okay, so this is a new deck. Like I said, it's kind of slippery, so I have to work my way in with it first. So looking at Julian Assange making big waves within the next few months. All right. Kind of get the impression that he will be, but let's take a look and see what the cards have to say. Okay, well, something very strange here has happened with Julian Assange. I'm really not too sure if he's even still alive. Okay, that's the thing right now, and that's kind of what I'm getting here about the situation with Julian Assange, right? Because, like I said, he really represented the Page of Swords. So, like I said, receiving information, informants. But my feeling is that I just don't know if he's on the planet anymore, right? I'm not too sure if they have a new Julian Assange that's taking his place. But I feel the real Julian Assange, I don't think is here anymore. I think he passed away. Either he passed away or he's been taken out of the picture. But I'm not getting the feeling that he's still with us. Okay. So if there is a Julian Assange that's coming about, I feel it's probably a doppelganger. It may be in that sense as a body double or something like that, because I'm seeing a lot of grief here. I'm seeing a lot of the cards that are telling me I feel like this person has passed away. I feel this person has left the earth plane, right? So I don't feel Julian Assange is here anymore. Okay? Now, like I said, that's never really stopped agendas before, because they'll get a replacement, right? They'll get a doppelganger. They'll get someone who looks like him, and he'll come through and he'll start sharing that. And that's basically what it's about. It's about maintaining the message. But I'm not too sure if he was poisoned or taken out of commission, whatever happened. I feel like there may have been some sort of assassination with him or something of that nature. But I'm not getting the feeling that he's even on the Earth plane anymore. That's just kind of the feeling I'm getting. I feel like he's not here, but I feel like there's going to be someone to take his place. Okay, either someone taking his place, or a doppelganger, or a body double, or something of that nature. But that's really what I'm getting. I'm just constantly getting these cards of saying he's not here, but they may swap him out. They may get someone new coming in, and it feels like it was a successful attempt on his life. Where he's not here anymore. Okay, so that's what I'm getting, Big Cat, just from what the cards are saying. He has left the Earth plane. He is not here anymore. The original Julian Assange has died. I'm not too sure when this has happened. I don't feel like it was too long ago, so it's not giving me a date stamp here on that way. But I don't feel like he's here anymore. I feel like he's completely left the Earth plane. But whatever the plan is that they're doing, he may still have, again, the role that he is still meant to play, even with a body double, or again, if it's somebody new, is still going to play itself out. So WikiLeaks, in that sense, will still be playing itself out appropriately. But from what I can see here, it doesn't look like he's here anymore. It feels like he has completely left the Earth plane. So that's the feeling I'm getting there. I'll see if I can tune into this intuitively as well, too, just to kind of confirm that that's what I'm feeling. Because the cards are definitely telling me that. There's feelings of loss, there's feelings of death, right? That he's not here anymore. So let me just give the impression of that. Yeah, I'm getting the feeling that his soul has left the earth. He's not here anymore, right? But like I said, that will not stop the agenda of what he was supposed to do. Whether it's, again, someone taking his place, whether it's a new person, his work is going to carry on from what he was meant to do. But I feel like he was either assassinated, killed, poisoned, or something of that nature, and he left the Earth plane. So he is not here anymore. That's just what the cards are telling me. That's what my intuition is telling me. Okay. Thank you very much, Big Cat. Okay. So this one here is from Martin. Hello, Martin. Martin says, hey, Brad, can you tell us more about the Federation of Light? They get channeled often. Personally, I think it is hopium that is being channeled. I would completely agree with you. Yes. But let's take a look at the tarot. All right, let's take a look at the tarot first, because I've been doing that so far. We'll take a look at the Federation of Light channelings, or Galactic Federation of Light, quite commonly, right? I was talking about that recently as well, too, that when we look at all these Galactic Federation of Light channels, it sounds very sweet. It sounds very optimistic. It sounds very hopeful. But it really is just hopium, right? And unfortunately, guys, a lot of this is dangerous, right? When there's a lot of fluff that is just produced around the internet that doesn't back anything up, people get so incredibly devoted to that they rely upon that external aid to make a difference for them. And that's where people start getting broken apart, right? It's like I said, there's people that are talking about med beds, and that med beds are coming in a week, and med beds are coming in a month, med beds are coming within 6 months, med beds are coming within a year, and you got a lot of psychic mediums, and you got a lot of so-called channelers constantly talking about how med beds are coming, and they're like the secret space programs, or they're off ET ships, and they're going to be introduced to the world, and you'll be able to pop yourself into a med bed, and you'll be able to heal yourself up completely free, won't cost you a thing. I'm like, what are you guys doing? What are you saying to people? Do you realize that what you're saying is extremely harmful to people? You're filling them with all of this hope, and they rely on that external aid, and that is dangerous, right? That type of optimism and that type of fluff is extremely dangerous for people, because what happens is they don't feel like they have their own power to take care of their situation. They will now start to latch on to another external situation, and they will rely on that external situation to heal them up. And then when that external situation doesn't bring anything for them, they become devastated, and a lot of them even have suicidal tendencies. These people do not realize what they're doing. They are causing people to give up so much of their power towards these hopium fluff stories, right? I had a conversation the other day with a woman who commented on my video yesterday, because we're going to get into this in a second. But I had a woman comment on my video yesterday about, oh, well, if the beds aren't coming, then I guess I'm really just going to give up on life and all that stuff. I said, what? You know, you cannot really look at life in that way of just exposing. You haven't even begun to live. If all you've been doing with life is just surviving, you haven't lived, right? You have to realize the power within yourself. You are so incredibly powerful that any particular form of illness that you have can be healed. I've seen it done because I've done it, right? I've seen people do it because they've done it, right? Where people are on the brink of cancer, they finally go into their center, they finally let everything go. The next day, they're cancer free. This is the power that you have within yourself. You don't need a stupid bed, right? You don't need any of that stuff. This is the power that you have here. This is what I've been teaching people on this channel for many years, is that people have the power to heal. People have the power to change their life around. I'm working with students. I'm working with coaches, right? I'm working with these people who have had financial problems, who have had family problems, and they're able to turn it all around because they have not yet realized the power that is within them. And this is what I'm happy to work with you. But the whole idea is that you have to be willing to work together with this. You have to be willing to move into that path to what it takes. And getting a bunch of these stupid hopium messages isn't going to do anything for you. You believe it with all of your heart, and all of a sudden nothing happens, and then you just get devastated, right? Long time ago, that certainly happened to me as well. I would get completely transfixed when I first started, really just at the dawn of my spiritual awakening. I would get completely enthusiastic about these types of Galactic Federation of Light messages and psychics and mediums and so-called channels, just giving you so much fluff, giving you so much hopium that nothing happens, right? They basically give you a date range, and then those dates pass and nothing happens, and you're devastated. And you basically have suicidal tendencies because you've put so much energy into wanting that to happen. And you've been bullshitted too, right? And unfortunately, guys, that's what's happened. You have to use your discernment, right? I would basically chew out a lot of those people that are doing that stuff, but that's not really enough. It's up to us as well too to discern a little more, rather than saying, okay, what's the next hook? What's the next hope message that's coming, right? Because I'm not here to deliver you guys hope. I'm telling you guys exactly how it is. This is how it's coming. It's coming from my heart. It's coming from my experience, right? But you can throw it away just as much. I'm not telling you guys to cling on to me. I'm not telling you guys you need to buy into everything that I'm sharing. You can throw it away or you can accept it, whatever feels good. But I'm telling it like it is. And I'm not going to give you a bunch of stupid fluff. So let's take a look at the Federation of Light. What their integrity really represents, the Galactic Federation of Light channelings that we see quite commonly. Okay, let's take a look. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting the feeling of here, just as I'm laying the cards down. Okay. It's not to say, like I said, it's not to say that these messages are negative or anything like that. They're very positive. They're very optimistic. But the whole idea is they have no backing to themselves. They're just fluff, right? And this is also kind of my discernment card. So you have to discern. You got to discern, right? Whether these things are real or whether they're just absolutely hollow. Because it's very much saying exactly what I've said. People will put so much hope into them, and then when nothing happens, they're cast out into the cold. They're cast out into the cold. They're freezing. And they say, hey, I thought this was going to happen. I thought this was a whole week. And then that person that makes that message comes on, oh, guys, sorry, I made a mistake. I meant that this is going to happen in 6 months. Then 6 months pass. Oh, sorry, guys, I heard that this was going to actually happen in 3 months. And 3 months pass. Oh, wait, guys, sorry. Yeah. And that's how they work, right? They'll basically do, oh, no, I may have just been out of alignment there, but I'm completely in alignment now. And now they're saying 3 months. And now they're saying 6 months. And now they're saying a year. Guys, you're being bullshitted, okay? This is a snake oil salesperson. You are being taken advantage of. You are getting these hollow messages of hope and all that stuff. And like I said, it's not to say that that's not good, but let that hope reflect within you. Let it reflect that you have the power rather than waiting for some type of external event that's going to fix you and think that everything's going to be better. And there's a magic potion just waiting, right? There's a magic red button that you press and all of a sudden you're better. How would any of that even come, right? How could any particular machine or device be greater than the power of your own consciousness? It's not. But what you have to do is you have to learn to talk to that great consciousness. You have to learn to align to that great consciousness. And that is what I have been spending the last 16 years of my life doing myself and also teaching to you guys, is learning how to align, how to work, how to build a relationship with that great consciousness, because you're living miracles all the time, because that's how I live. I'm sharing this from experience. I'm not just some guy that comes in and just reads about 100 books and, oh, guys, I think I know what I'm doing. And they don't do anything because all they're doing is just reading a bunch of books and they know nothing, right? This is things that I actually put into practice, that I actually do. And everything that I'm teaching you guys, I have gotten results out of personally. It is my own personal experience. And I'm teaching it to you guys. And I'm happy to teach it to you guys. But you have to show me that you're committed. You have to show me that you want this. You have to show me that you want to go into the deeper depths of yourself and transform yourself completely. That's why I'm going to be doing a tour, right? That's why I'm going to be talking to you guys a lot more in group capacity. I'm really stepping myself up, and wisdom transmissions is going to get a lot more brighter here over the next little while, okay? Because this is the time where I feel like, okay, we've got simple techniques. I have a new combination technique that represents a variation of different techniques that I've put out for free on my YouTube channel. And again, a lot of people keep complaining about how something costs them anything. And I keep telling them, well, you guys know that I have free practices online. Oh, yeah, I just don't know if I have time for it. Then why are you complaining whether something is free or something's paid for when you have something that's free right here on my YouTube channel under playlists? BCR technique, cord removal healing, prana transmission technique, release bone method. And I'm happy to work with you. I'm an email away. Very few of you do it, right? So this is what I'm talking about. It's like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Right? There's certain things that I do that you do pay for. Yes. Like with sessions, for example. And then there's things that I offer here on the channel that's free that you can do. That doesn't cost you a dime, right? And that's not even taken advantage of. So what do you want? Right? That's the whole idea, is that I just talk to so many people who want to make a difference. So it's okay. Well, here's a free practice right here. You can make it happen, right? And you can always contact me, and they don't do it, right? So I'm confused. I don't know. I don't know what to say. And I know I'm not speaking for everybody, because there are those who want it, right? There are those who are committed to it, and they contact me, and I'm more than happy to work together with them, right? Whether it be through sessions or telling them about the free practices. And like I said, this is why I'm doing this tour, because it is for the committed. It is for people who want to turn their lives around. It's turned mine around. And that's why I'm teaching this, okay? So with the Federation of Light, like I said, there is, like I said, it's the idea that they mean well, but they're not bringing anything out. This is also kind of like a fluff card at the same time. They're planting seeds into yourself to try and tell you more about yourself, but they regurgitate it like it's something external that you need to do, and it gets you nowhere, right? So it's kind of like the idea in that sense that they give you sweet words, but there's no action coming out of it. Well, here's our sweet words that are falling off our hands like loose change, but we're not going to give you anything else, Okay, so all I'm really seeing here is hollowness. Okay, and this is where you need to discern. You need to discern. You need to take your power into you. You need to transform yourself. Okay, because again, like I said, this is all just a bunch of fairy distraction, getting you hyped up on a message that does not deliver. But the ability to deliver comes within the power of yourself. Okay, so that's what I'm getting, Martin, pertaining to Galactic Federation of Light channelings, to what I've gotten from just these Hopian messages, medbeds, and all these things, and galactic intervention that will save you, and all that stuff like that. Just everything that represents externality, and that's wrong, right? The other day, Adronis was talking about intervention fleets, okay? And those are very real. Intervention fleets are very real, but they're only available to people that have exhausted other options, right? No matter what you've tried to do, you've tried to heal yourself, and you just realize that nothing can be done, and you're just at your wit's end, and now you make the call. You connect with the intervention fleets, because I've had dozens and dozens of people who have emailed me and said, Brad, I was visited by the intervention fleets last night. Intervention fleets came in. I could see this light coming into my room. It was scanning me. I've had this battle with migraines for so long. I've tried everything. And I saw this flash of light, and 24 hours later, nothing returning to a migraine has hit me. It's gone. There you go. You've exhausted all options, and intervention fleets come in. Okay. What I'm telling you guys there is not hopium, because this actually does work. But there are conditions, there are provisos that are involved with the intervention fleets. They're not just going to call upon you because you just feel like somebody needs to take care of this. This is from a hardworking person who has done absolutely everything, right? People who are targeted individuals, and they've done everything to try and resolve this. And then they make the call sign. You see why I keep doing this? Because this is the intervention fleet call sign. Okay, putting your hand like this, so it kind of looks like a rectangle, and then putting your other hand here like a slash over. Okay, that's the intervention fleet call sign. But you would only have an intervention fleet intervention if you've exhausted all other options. They look at you, they scan, they say, okay, well, they've been doing a lot of work here, but here's something that they're missing, and we'll gladly help them out. Okay, and it's very nonchalant. It happens. It's like you wake up the next morning, maybe had some kind of interesting dream, but you can't put your finger on it, but you knew that something came in and intervened and helped you, right? I've had those as well too in the past. I can't say they're intervention fleets, but I've certainly had intervention. Okay, but intervention fleets are very real. That's a very real thing. But like I said, you don't just do it for the heck of it. You don't just do it because you're trying to entertain yourself. You don't just do it because you haven't even bothered to work on yourself. Oh, the intervention fleets will come in and take care of me. That's hopium. Okay, these are for people who have really done a lot of work on themselves, who have tried to clear a lot of this debris out of themselves. Maybe they're getting permanent migraines. Maybe they're terminally sick. Maybe they're chronically ill. They've been working with so many different modalities, and now they're at the last resort. The intervention fleets are last resort. Okay, then they start doing the call sign. They wake up the next morning, they're noticing there's some improvement in their health. Because it's like what Adronis and I were saying yesterday, is a lot of these spacecraft do have the very med beds that we talk about. Okay, there certainly are the med beds that are on board the ships. Okay, and people will get mad at me because, guys, frankly, with all respect, I'm telling you the truth. But that's up to you to decide, right? But I'm telling the truth from the heart. The idea of building med beds of that particular level of sophistication, where it is capable of completely and totally refining your DNA, rebuilding your DNA, altering your DNA to the degrees that are so incredibly advanced, not one particular bit of branches of modern science today could even fathom this particular type of creation. You have to have an advanced maturity to yourself, because this could be weaponized. This could be weaponized to basically create a human that could basically be impervious and invincible to any particular type of attack. They could basically manifest a body where the body itself could not be destroyed by conventional means in any way. That means it could be weaponized. And this is exactly why the governments of the world are not allowed to have medbed technology. They've been denied. Some people are saying on the grapevine, oh, well, you know, the elites have tried this. No, they haven't. No, they haven't. They have not even come close to trying medbed technology. They have had certain versions of it, but the ones I'm talking about, they haven't even come close to trying that because they're not allowed. It has never been given to them. They want it, most definitely, because that would basically give them so much longevity. You could live for tens of thousands of years, right? Perhaps even longer. But this is what I'm talking about. As a machine like that could be so deeply weaponized that it would jeopardize absolutely everything on the planet. And this particular technology has been kept secret for so long. No human being has come along to say that they could create it. Right? We've had people who are creating precursors to it. Okay, like I said, radiate is a precursor, but the actual medbed itself is so incredibly sophisticated. It's like having God technology. You go in and you can basically, I won't say immortalize yourself, but you can have vast longevity. And you can make your entire body impervious to chemicals. You can make it impervious to bombs. You can make it impervious to anything. You could basically create an invincible human. You could not kill them. Do you see how that could be weaponized? This is what I'm talking about. There needs to be an advanced maturity to being able to develop medbeds of that caliber, because that is probably the most awesome force on the physical plane that we could imagine is genetic manipulation. There are many species as well too that use things like medbeds and other particular forms of genetic manipulation technology that are actually able to make themselves 10, 15, 20, 30, 50 feet tall. And you could not kill them. You simply couldn't. There's nothing in the physical that could destroy them. You could give them nerve gas, wouldn't do anything. You could fire shotgun blasts. You could drop bombs on them, wouldn't touch them. That's how dangerous this is. And that requires an advanced maturity. And this is what I'm attempting to get through to people, right? That requires an advanced maturity. You could weaponize armies like that, invincible soldiers, right? This is why the governments of the earth are never allowed to touch this. They were never able to receive medbed technology. It was impossible. Again, precursors of it, something that does not have those kind of capabilities, yes, but nothing of the lines of what I'm talking about, of the kind that you've seen on ships. I've actually had dreams going on board them and seeing these particular types of beds, and they are fantastic. They are amazing. They will basically, like I said, make you invincible, right? You could basically live in the body for thousands upon thousands and thousands of years. You would be immune to all types of sickness. People could not kill you, right? It would not be done. That's how awesome this power is, because that's genetic alteration. Now, do you see how dangerous that is to a civilization that doesn't even know how to get along with each other? Do you see how dangerous it is for people that are still in a separation consciousness, who will instantly get jealous if somebody has something like that and they don't? It would create madness. It would create violence. It would create aggression in ways that you could not understand. And this is why I say, guys, it is not coming out anytime soon. You're not mature enough to handle it. There needs to be a maturity. There needs to be a unity consciousness, because the beings that have access to that have gone through advanced maturity. They could only develop these things through a unity-based consciousness, because that's what it requires for it to be developed, right? There are, again, certain renditions of it, certain genetic programs that you can do, but to have something like this that really is all in one, that can basically semi-immortalize yourself in a physical form, is amazing. Okay, and like I said, guys, I'm just sharing this from experience. You guys have to make up your own mind, and if you want to look into that yourself, go for it. If you think I'm full of crap, well, that's okay. I really don't care, because I'm quite aware of the experiences of these beds. Okay, and they are awesome technology. It is the most profound technology you would ever see. right next to portal technology and all that. It is an incredible technology. I couldn't care less if you believe me or not. Right? But this is exactly how it is. This is how it is, guys. I know a lot of us want to put our face on the planet and say, here we go, this is Joe's Earth. No, it's not. Get your face off there. It's not your planet. It's not the world according to Joe. It's not the world according to Jenny. Okay? This is a collective world. What you say doesn't go. You have your own world, yes. But the whole idea of you trying to impose everything upon 7 to 8 billion people isn't going to work. It's not going to fly, right? Again, you've had secret societies trying to do that for thousands of years, and they are failing. And they had resources and access to everything, and they can't do it. What makes you think you can? Right? These are just some food for thought to digest. And like I said, this just goes beyond past all the hopium messages and looking into the power of yourself, right? Because like I said, as awesome as that bed is, you don't need it. One who is completely in harmony with their consciousness can make anything happen, right? They can manifest themselves into millions of bodies. They can go on every particular planet simultaneously, on every single planet that exists, and receive all of that knowledge simultaneously, depending on how one is willing to go deeply into that great consciousness. There's no limits with it, right? Technology is great, but even with that technology that I've described, that's very limiting, right? To the power of the great consciousness, no technology can ever surmount to it, all right? Anyways, let's go ahead and move on. Okay. So I'm not really doing any questions with Adronis today, guys. Adronis just comes in on Wednesdays. Okay. Like I said, guys, we're trying to keep it to current event questions. I have other questions here that really are not current events, so I'm just going to kind of look past them for now. Okay, let's take a look at this one from Peruvian Sublime. Peruvian Sublime says, what role does Peru play in the shift? Okay, so let's take a look at Peru. See what is happening with it. I mean, everybody really has their roles to play. Guys, we're all in this together. Like I said, it's not the idea that a country is just, tucked aside here in the corner and the world is going to ignore it. It doesn't work that way, right? Everything is a web. Everything's interconnected. It's like looking at a spider's web, right? Even the thinnest of threads back in the corner of the web still has a purpose. Where it didn't, it would not complete the geometry. Okay, the geometry of every particular country serves a role to play here. But let's take a look and see how Peru is doing, about what Peru is going through. Okay. And Peru has all kinds of ancient technology. They have all kinds of ancient knowledge and ancient wisdom, right? So there's a lot of a role for you guys to play. Okay, to me it feels like, again, there is some shift in internal government. Okay, so this again can represent a government card as well too at the same time. Can represent, again, a lot of Saturnian energies at the same time. Okay, but like I said, it's very similar to a lot of other countries that I'm seeing here. When I'm doing a look at a country, I say, guys, it's the same thing, right? If I'm talking about Australia, if I'm talking about Germany, if I'm talking about Canada, if I'm talking about the US, if I'm talking about Singapore, if I'm talking about Japan, whoever it may be, okay, it's the same pattern. Okay, and it's the exact same pattern that I'm getting here. It's the idea that there is an ousting of the current regime that is taking place. It's a prelude to building up a revolution. It's a prelude for people standing up. It's a prelude for the idea of the wishy-washy, corrupt to be completely flushed out of the entire faculty of the government institutions of Peru. Okay, so Peru is not being excluded. Peru is not being tucked away in the corner. Peru is going through its own challenges, just like many other countries are. Okay, so here's the pass card. So we have here the 6 of Cups. So this is telling me support. This is telling me help. This is telling me that they are getting aid. They are getting help. There is counterforce activity upon Peru. Okay, like I said, maybe you guys are getting some tax issues. Maybe you're getting some other heavy regulations that are being put together. But like I said, we're not seeing the bigger picture. We cannot see the forest for the trees. There's something else going on behind the scenes. So again, a lot of hardship, almost like a feeling of a recession, a repression in that way. But like I said, there is going to be some really good things happening for Peru. But again, if we're only just focusing on the tragedy, you're not going to see it. You need to see 360 degrees around you, that there are changes taking place. But here's the thing, guys, with mainstream media and everything else that represents that type of institution umbrella, they're going to show you the bad stuff and they're going to throw it right in your face. And you need to be able to peel that around and look around the corner and say, wait a minute, a lot of the stuff that's happening behind the scenes here looks pretty damn good. Oh, shh, shh. Right? And they throw a bunch of crap in your face. Okay? And they're just trying to give you that perception. Oh, no, this is horrible. Starvation, tax hikes, housing costs, housing market. Oh, horrible. But you just peel it away. Wait a minute. There's a lot of good stuff. Oh, just, don't look at that. Look at our crap. Okay? That's exactly what they try to get you to do. Is they get you to look at the in front of the scenes nonsense. They try to get you distracted with the fear percentages, rather than you peeling over and looking over and saying, wow, there's like a lot of cooperation. Oh, no, don't look at that. That's propaganda. That's conspiracy theory. Don't look at that crap. Look at this, right? And that happens to pretty much every single country on the planet. Okay? You got to peel away the crap that they're shoving in your face, and you got to look. You got to look behind the scenes. Wow, there's people coming together. There's people that are taking action. I'm seeing people wait, oh, you're not seeing anything. You're crazy. He's a conspiracy theorist, right? Because that's what's happening. There's a lot of goodness happening behind the scenes. We don't see it. And I've said it time and time and time again. And I'll say it again. If you guys knew what was really happening behind the scenes, you would not be miserable. You would not be upset. You would watch the idea of the entire cabal being taken down. And that's what's happening. And that would be a cause for celebration. But they don't show you that on the crappy in front of the scenes garbage news that they have, on all of the channels, on all of the networks that they have. It's crap. Look how horrible people are suffering. Look at all this stuff. Look at the hyperinflation, the superinflation that's going on. Look at the housing markets. Look at all this stuff. And that's what we're being fed like fodder in front of the scenes. And you have to learn to peel it away. How do you peel it away? This is the beginning. Okay, the heart is the beginning. The center is the beginning. How do you think I'm able to give this information to you guys? Because that's exactly what I do through experience, right? And you start looking at that and say, okay, well, I'm going to look into the heart of Peru right now. There's a lot of meetings. There's a lot of gatherings, getting together, of being able to take down this whole grid of lies, of deceit, of corruption. And Peru is certainly on the list with that, guys. Peru is not exempt from that, okay? So like I said, I'm seeing all kinds of good stuff happening for Peru very quickly, but we're seeing this, right? Maybe we're being blinded by election stuff. We're being blinded by politics. We're being blinded by government nonsense. And we think that we're just down the dumps because that's all part of the control program, right? But we're seeing work behind the scenes. We're seeing the idea that everything is being shuffled around. Everything is shifting. So you ask, what role does Peru in the shift? Well, Peru is playing in a shift right now. Things are shifting behind the scenes. Leaders are going to be changing. Policies are going to be changing. Overhaul is taking place. Just like with so many other countries that I've looked at, Peru is no different. Right? So there's a lot of things happening. Again, I'm not too aware of the name of your political leader or anything of that nature, but when I can see just through the nature of events, there is a lot of things that are going to be shifting here, and a lot of things are going to be changing, and there's going to be a lot of outrage. People are going to get mad. Okay, that's what we have to look forward to in the summer, guys. If you're so fond of looking in front of the scenes, you're going to see a lot of people around the planet pissed off. Okay, that's really what's happening in front of the scenes right now. People are getting angry and irritated. Why? Because they're transfixed of everything that's happening in front of the scenes. Nobody's looking behind the curtain. Very few of us are actually looking behind the curtain. 95% of human beings are so transfixed in front of what they see in front of their eyes, and they're duped. And maybe about 5% of us will look behind the curtains. Well, that's what's happening, and that's where we're reporting on, right? It's what I'm reporting on. I'm sure there's quite a few others as well, too, who may be doing that as well. That you look at the behind the scenes, you look at how the signposts are telling you these things are happening in front of the scenes because it's trying to light a fire under you. It's attempting to bring unity consciousness together. It's a worldwide revolution that is going to impact every single country on the damn planet. So that you all stand up together, that you work together, that you say no more. We don't want any more of these tax hikes. We don't want any more of this hyperinflation. We don't want any more war. We don't want anybody else impoverished. We don't want any of these things anymore. We're saying no. And that's what the standing up means. As I've talked about, I basically say that. I regurgitate it every single week, right? Whether it's on Wisdom Transmissions Live, whether it's on the signposts, right? And I keep saying it. And that's what's happening, guys. It's happening slowly but surely. It's not going to happen all right away, but it is transitioning itself towards that. People are going to stand up. More and more people. This is not just a simple protest and rally. This is not like the Occupy movements of 2011, where there's just some people that are standing, okay, there's a few thousand people and they're gathering in the square. No, 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 no. This is revolution. This is something that hits such a breaking point because people are so absolutely infuriated that they stand up together and they say no effing more. And they will not move an inch until all of this ends. That's what I'm talking about with revolution. Okay? Not a rally, not a protest, not a dinky little protest. There's a few people with signs and all that. No, I'm talking about something truly monumental. I'm talking about every single country on the planet with the people standing up, because that's what I've seen. That's what I've seen going back in 2020, getting these visions about the time that's ahead. It's happening in Canada. It's happening in the US. It's happening in the East. People are standing up because they're being meddled with to death. And they said, we have effing had enough. And they just throw everything down. That's it. You guys have crossed the line now. We're done with you. And there's revolution. Okay? And it is being done transitionally. But there will come a time where so many different countries across the planet will have thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people on the streets saying they've had enough. And that's why there needs to be even greater than a boiling point. It's not only just a boiling point, it's the idea where everything's just running over. Country to country, nation to nation, internationally, all over the world. That's what it's going to take to completely clear this out. Because you have to look at these cabals have taken advantage. They have basically infiltrated every facet there is to human systems. Nothing's been left untouched by them. They've done a very thorough job of corrupting the entire planet. This is thorough. This is something that is, if it's something commendable about them, they're extremely thorough. They will not leave a single stone unturned. And this is why we need to turn every single stone, because everything needs to be transformed. It's revolution. That's what it takes. And it's going to take the majority of the planet to stand up, to clean it all out. Right? And things are going to feel worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and escalate. Don't you see that happening, guys? With the barometer going up and up and up and more and more and more and more and more. Like, oh my God, more and more of this stuff is getting so intense. Well, that's how it's meant to be. It's about people taking their power back. How hot do we have to make it before so many of you stand up and you come to the streets and you work together? Right? That's it. And as I've said before, really what it requires is thought action. The power of your thought to say, no, I don't want this. I'm going to look at this instead. That's all you really need. But a lot of people want to do more than that. And that's why there's going to be such a big revolution ahead. And it's coming, right? It could be the end of this year. It could be moving into next year. It's not too far away, right? But that is what's happening. And every country on this planet is involved with it, okay? So Peruvian Sublime, thank you for your question. Okay. All right, let's see. Just give me a moment here, guys. I'm just reading down some questions here. Okay, this is one from Jan. Hi, Jan. Jan says, hi, Brad, a question. How do you see China's President Xi Jinping? Is he really that tyrant, or is he part of the good guys? Well, okay. These are difficult questions for me to answer, okay? Because a lot of people just want to say, Brad, is he a white hat or a black hat? Like, where's your gray hats? Where's your gradient hats at? Okay. These guys are not good old boys. Okay. These guys, like I said, are part of secret societies or ex-members of secret societies. They know how to get stuff done. And at times they can be ruthless. Donald Trump, for example, can be ruthless, right? He can be a ruthless individual. Right? If something does not go his way, he'll just be here sitting with his arms crossed. I'm not moving a bud. I'm not moving an inch. And if you don't do what I say, well, I'm going to increase the tariffs to 25% next month. And then if you still don't do it, I'm going to increase the tariffs to 50%. And if you still don't do it, I'm going to increase the tariffs to 75%. This is him, right? He will be ruthless at times. Guys, this is not about good old boys, right? Good old guys in that sense. You know, they have a role to play, but they have their faults. They're not just, you know, incarnated earth angels that have no malice within themselves. These people have come from backgrounds where they have seen people executed, where they have seen people murdered, where they have seen all kinds of violence come through them, even at early ages. But they've realized a calling to themselves, but they will still play with those particular types of agendas. They feel that if somebody needs to be executed, they'll see it up to themselves to do it. Okay, but like I said, that brings about a significant change. Okay, guys, this is not black and white. You got to get out of that mentality. This is all gradients, right? So let's take a look at Xi Jinping. Just about, you could say, okay, would he be part of the counter forces? I think that's probably the best way to put it. Right? Would he represent a connection to the counter forces? Is that where he is right now? Rather than just saying part of the good guys. That's like, guys, there's no good guys. Guys, there really is no tyrants. This is an occult game you're playing, right? People will act like tyrants. People will act like saviors. People will act like saints. People will act like demonics, right? Because behind the scenes, none of that's there, right? It just all goes back to the soul, where everything simply is. Okay, but let's take a look at that for the character Xi Jinping, if he's part of connections with the counter forces. Okay, that's the best way I could put it. Let's take a look. Okay. All right. He's very much counterforce. Okay. So he's not in collusion with the cabals, you could say. Okay. He's very much counterforce. So very much he's being guided. He's being supported. He's getting orders from the higher ups. Those higher ups will often represent the guardians, as I've talked about. The watchers is another term for them, right? It's like Adronis has talked about, there's off-world security branches. And a lot of those off-world security branches are working together in collusion with other on-world security branches. And the on-world security branches are being given orders from a lot of beings that are off-world, okay? And that is primarily what he represents, okay? So he is really going to be making a turnaround for China, okay? I can't even say if this is the actual Xi Jinping, though, okay? To me, it may be a doppelganger. Okay, that's kind of the feeling I'm getting. I think the actual Xi Jinping has left the Earth plane, and I think that this is a stand-in. This is a stand-in. This is a doppelganger. Okay, I don't feel he is the real Xi Jinping, but he represents the character. This is why I say let's take a look at the character of Xi Jinping, because I think the real Xi Jinping is gone. Okay, so there's a stand-in. There's a double. There's a doppelganger, right? I'm kind of getting that feeling with this card as well, too, that it feels like there's a new stand-in that's coming. This is someone who's taken his place, and that, again, they are bringing about new transformations, right? So I have the King of Wands and I have the Queen of Wands, right? So this is telling me that there's definitely been a change pertaining to the royalty figure, or just, again, person in charge of authority. And he's moving in a much more newer direction that is following the Counterforce initiative, okay? And he is really going to be hunting down the cabals. They're taking it down. They're working together with Russia, and they're sweeping a lot of these cabal bases, installations, outposts, whatever you want to call them, right? Criminal cartels are being completely and totally cleansed out, because that's what's happening right now. They are completely taking the wrecking ball to the establishment of the dark cabals. They are knocking them down completely, and they're going to be rebuilding. It's going to be a lot of rebuilding and reconstruction coming together. So the Xi Jinping that you see, just from my perspective, from what I'm getting, is not the original Xi Jinping. It is a duplicate. It is a doppelganger, okay? But he is very much on the side of counterforces, okay? So that's what's happening. Just like Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin is not the real Vladimir Putin. That is a stand-in. That is a doppelganger, okay? A lot of the world leaders, with the exception of Trump, are basically doppelgangers. There is actually the real Donald Trump. He's still around. He very rarely shows himself in public, though. He'll show himself every now and then, but he has a couple other doppelgangers in that sense that are doing interviews for him. I would feel even the court case, because I think that's one of the big things here, is the court case. I think that'll be the next question I'll look into. How will Donald Trump's court case go? I'm actually surprised none of you guys have asked that question yet, right? About how Donald Trump's court case will go and what will happen to him. Even if he does get in jail, which I don't feel is actually going to happen, it'll probably be a doppelganger in jail and not him, right? So let's take a look at that. I think that'll be the good next question here. Thank you, Jen, for your question, by the way. Okay, but let's take a look at Mr. Donald J. Trump. Let's take a look at how his entire court hearing will go. Will he end up behind bars? Will he end up being detained for the rest of his run for a presidential election here? Okay, let's take a look and see. I just get the feeling he won't be touched. Okay. Now he's going to be touched with words. He's going to be threatened. He's going to be ridiculed. He's going to be bashed into the ground. But I'm getting the feeling that he's not going to be touched. Okay. There's a lot of people speculating about what's going to happen to Trump with this whole trial with New York, right? If he's going to be jailed, if he's going to be do that, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think he's going to be able to come out of this with flying colors. Okay. That card represents great abundance. Trump's natal chart right now is extremely powerful. Like I said, whenever he hits a dive and when he comes back up, it's like trying to stop a force of nature, right? His nature of climbing back up is just, it's like a bolt of lightning. You can't catch a bolt of lightning from the sky, right, without getting burned. That's really what I feel. It's just like this powerful bolt of lightning that's surging him and bringing him up. So incredibly powerful that he becomes like a force of nature. He is a very interesting person. He has a very, very unique natal chart, right? Like I said, he'll have great plummets, but when he comes back up again, he's almost unstoppable. It's like looking at a Marvel superhero kind of character, right? He just gets so behind this momentum that you can throw a bunch of rocks at him, it's just going to bounce right off him. And that's kind of the feeling I'm getting with him, is that this whole thing pertaining to this trial, I feel, is going to get thrown out. Okay, this whole thing pertaining to this trial, I feel, is not going to happen the way they want it to happen. It's just like how they've tried to impeach him in the past, twice, I think it was. And they can't do it, right? He's basically on that momentum path. And like I said, you just try trucking rocks at them. It's like this force field that comes up and it won't hurt me, it won't hurt me, it won't hurt me. I can't do a Trump accent. So. But that's what I feel is happening with him. It feels like he is going to be getting so much momentum forward that no matter what the other side, right, with quotation marks, no matter what the other side tries to do, they can't bring him down. He's basically just like an unstoppable force of nature right now. And the reason he has that is because he has so much support around him. There are people that are just head over heels in love with this man, right? And they are blessing him, and they're putting the angels around him, and they're just filling him with all of this light that they've made him almost indestructible, right? So with him, I don't see him going in jail. There's nothing here that I see that would represent a prison card. I actually see the idea of a lot of this stuff, a lot of this chaos being thrown out. A lot of chaos being thrown out. And when he gets into power, Cabal's finished. They are completely finished. Again, I won't refer to it as a type of vengeance, but it's a justice card, and he is going to wipe them all out. He is going to cleanse them from the face of the United States. United States is going to get like the biggest enema, and they are all gone, right? That's really what he's going to do. Like, as soon as he sits back in that chair as president, because like I said, he pretty much already is, but in the front of the scenes, he is going to wipe them all out. He is going to completely and totally create this tidal wave that is going to take down their installations. It wouldn't surprise me. I can't guarantee this with the United States, but it may be the idea that maybe there's some government shutdowns as well too, just to weed out the filth, right? To clean out the corrupt. Trump is on a roll here. Again, I never give a 100% guarantee that he'll be back in power, but it's certainly looking that way, right? It certainly has a very high momentum of happening, but like everything can change. But I'd say there's at least well over a 90% chance that he'll be back in office. He's just an unstoppable force, right? You can't stop him. The people are behind him. He has millions and millions and millions of people just supporting him, blessing him, giving him so much power. Like I said, it's like looking at a superhero. It really is. He is a force of nature. That really, and Biden is nothing like that. The cabal is nothing like that. They are not a force of nature. They think they are, but they're just they're representing a shadow ego, right? The shadow ego is never a force of nature. It tries to be the shadow of the force of nature. But it's the light is coming, and it's going to blind everything out where there are no shadows. So, no, I think Trump is in good hands. Like I said, they're going to try and just wishy-washy bullshit and bash him to the ground, calling him a felon and a criminal and all that stuff like that. And they'll keep trying. They'll keep trying to do all these things, but all these things will fall apart. Nothing is going to work. Like I said, guys, this is such a three-ring circus. This is such a three-ring circus. All right, what was he guilty of? Oh, well, we don't know. What's the actual charge? Oh, we don't know. Right? Oh, well, we have the jury that basically made the decision to make him guilty the day before the verdict. Oh, this is three-ring circus bullshit. Right? It's exactly what guys, you are watching a movie, and I don't know how to make it even more clear than that. We are watching a movie here. This is a really bad movie. It's like one of those B movies, but it's a movie, right? Like all of this. Oh, yeah, well, they made the verdict a day beforehand. They put it on Facebook. Like, guys, this is such bullshit. This is such an obvious movie. This is a three-ring circus. All of this stuff that's just meant, it's plot lines. I swear to God, they have writers behind the scenes. And they're just putting, let's just make, you guys are the bad guys here. All right, here's Biden and blah, 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 blah. And it's been surprising if the counter forces are controlling Biden at the same time. And you're doing this, and you're going to try and make Trump feel guilty, and you're going to try and put him in all this stuff. And the people are going to get behind him, and they're going to rally behind him because we did this in the script where the jury verdict came 24 hours before the actual verdict's supposed to happen. This is three-ring circus bullshit. Guys, can you not see it? This is what you would see on a Hollywood soundstage. This is what you would see on a Hollywood production. It's actors. It's three-ring circus. It's a sideshow. It's just a bunch of plot points. None of this is real at all, ever. It's stage nonsense. It's very entertaining. But like I said, this is three-ring circus bullshit. It's exactly what it is. None of it's real. Stage actors, script writers behind the scenes. Okay, well, Trump may be in danger. It's like they're just putting it in big bold letters. Okay, Trump may face jail time. Dramatic music, please. Oh, but there's hope. And there, here it is, and it's the jury, and they basically were leaking out 24 hours before this happened, and it's such a story. It's such a movie. It's such a three-ring circus. I don't know how to make it any more clear. None of this is real. None of it. You're watching a Hollywood movie. That's all this is. This is not real, right? It's just a game. It's an occult game played by these people, moving these chess pieces. It's ridiculous, right? But that's the in front of the scenes garbage. Like I said, you peel away in front of the scenes stupidness, you see exactly what's happening, because this is just a bunch of stupid crap, right? That's all it is. It's being able to peel all of that away and seeing what's really happening behind the scenes. Then you see what's really going on, because what you see in front of the scenes is not really what's going on at all. Okay. So how are we on time? Okay, we've got about 15 minutes. So we'll probably take a couple more questions down the list here. Okay, this one here is from Jay Rose. If Biden is elected U.S. president in November, will the deep state power control continue to grow? I would say it's almost impossible for him to maintain that. He's deteriorating, right? You're seeing that in front of the scenes. You're seeing this person deteriorating. I don't think they even have a plan because I don't think it's written in their script that Biden will continue, right? Even if they did try to continue, I'm pretty sure they put somebody else in his place. But no, I don't see him doing another 4 years. He is deteriorating by the day, right? And it's just going to be at the point where it's a weekend at Bernie's. He's basically just croaked. It's like, hello, fellow Americans. You might as well have a weekend at Bernie's situation here. They're just playing around with a dead body, right? This guy, whoever is playing Biden, because it's not the real Biden, that's obvious, I think, right? This person, in that sense, is going through just complete and total deterioration. They are deteriorating by the day, and they're just not even functioning. I mean, how many people are around him trying to give him cues about what he needs to do, where he needs to walk, what he needs to say, right? It's such a joke. Please, guys, please tell me you're not taking what is happening in front of the scenes seriously. Can anyone tell me, Brad, don't worry, I'm not taking this in front of the scenes seriously. Thank God. Please don't take what you see in front of the scenes seriously. Okay, guys, you are watching a movie. That's like me just having a dramatic spiel in front of fictional characters, right? I'm watching Star Trek: The Next Generation, and here's Captain Picard. Oh, what will Captain Picard do next? Or what will Commander Data do next? Blah, 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 blah. Well, that's basically what you're talking about, right? You're looking at fictional characters because the real Joe Biden is gone, right? So this is what I mean. This is just all a staged event. This is all Hollywood film production, soundstage garbage that they're putting off, and everybody and their dog is communicating, oh, I don't know about that Biden. Really? Please tell me you're not taking this seriously, okay? It's a show. It's a game. It's a Hollywood movie, right? There have been others who have said that too, not just me. This is all a movie. None of it's real. It's just created for the means to get the sleepers to wake up, right? If you guys are already awoken, you shouldn't even really pay attention to this crap, right? This is for the sleepers. Okay, people go, oh, what's this? What's going on? Oh, look at this politics. Oh, the politics. There hasn't been any real politics in years. This is Hollywood soundstage. This is three-ring circus bullshit, right? So in November, I don't feel him staying at all. No, if he does, if by some miracle it does actually happen, no, I feel he'll be replaced. But I don't see them remaining another 4 years. Very unlikely, right? Not saying it's impossible, but just very, very improbable. Okay. Thank you, Jay. Okay. Okay, this one here is from Alina. Alina says, Brad, can you offer some insight about the situation of seniors on Social Security for this year? Would some relief be provided for them? So I'm not too sure if you're talking about the States or Canada, because it all just depends. It varies from country to country. But let's say the United States, right? Let's say that you're talking about the US, okay? If there is a situation of senior Social Security for this year, would there be some relief provided? Okay. And guys, all I'm doing is reading the cards. Okay, I'm telling you exactly what the cards are. I'm not going to fill you with a bunch of sugar and tell you that something is happening when it's not, right? I'm not going to twist your arm, and I'm not here to give you guys hopium. Okay, I'm going to tell it like it is. That's the kind of person I am. I'm hoping you guys know that by now, right? You guys ask me the question, I'm going to give you the truth. I'm just letting you know that. If you don't want to know, don't ask. Okay. I'm not going to bullshit you. Okay, so let's take a look here about the senior situation on Social Security. Will some relief be provided for them this coming year? Let's take a look. Okay. By the government? No. Okay. By people who want to help out other people? Yes. Okay. Government programs right now are a joke, right? The whole idea of this hyperinflation, the idea of them trying to go into Social Security and just rob seniors blind, no. Okay. And that's basically what I'm seeing here, guys. The idea in that sense of senior Social Security, no, it's being robbed dry, right? They are going to be left in the dark as far as the government goes, okay? But they are going to get other particular forms of support, yes, okay? But it's not going to be from the government, okay? They're in a bind. They're in a bind right now, and it's going to lead, for those in that sense who are relying on their government for their help, there's going to be problems, okay? And I'm only telling you guys exactly what the cards are telling me, okay? So it's not looking good for them pertaining to trying to get government assistance. But the good news is that there is help, and the help is through the people, right? There may be, in that sense, certain groups that are coming together that may have investments coming together to helping seniors out, to helping war veterans, to helping seniors, to helping disabled. I feel like there's going to be new programs put in place that are non-governmental that may be helping them. That's something you guys may want to look at, right? Looking at new forms of groups that are coming together that will provide senior aid, right? Senior aid that is non-government. And I feel that there will be programs put together that will help them out with that. So on other channels besides government, yes, they can get assistance. On government plans, no, okay? Because they're absolutely screwing everybody over right now, right? It's the same thing happening in Canada as well too. United States, right? People in that sense are losing their opportunities for pension, Social Security, all of it. It's being robbed, my friends, right? Because the cabal is losing, and they're doing everything they can to try and mooch as much money out of everyone else's account as possible. These are filthy parasites, right? So as far as the government goes, not really. But this is kind of what I'm getting here, is the feeling that, you know, there is hope. You have to dig a little bit, but there certainly is hope for people in that sense who can get up off their feet. But there are non-government programs, right? There may be some groups that are out there already that are helping out with senior aid. If anybody else knows anything about this, you can feel free to comment on my video here, okay? Because I don't do that kind of looking into. But what I'm getting intuitively is that there are certain organizations, groups that will be coming together that will be providing for some type of assistance for people that require it, whether seniors, disabled, etc., because the government is screwing over. And I feel that wouldn't surprise me if someone like Elon Musk is going to create something like that, okay? It kind of feels like, again, it's going beyond the government branches, and it's coming much more into maybe a public or private sector, but there will be opportunities for aid for people that need it. You have to kind of look for it. Like I said, if anybody knows anything about what I'm talking about, put it on the chat, right? Let people be able to find it. That's something important, okay? And again, guys, I have no pleasure in telling you this, but I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not going to BS you. I'm not going to fill you with sugar, right? This is the whole idea, is that as much as we would love to say that, yes, Social Security will come about, when Trump comes in, absolutely it will, okay? But when it's still under this particular regime, no, this is the hard times. This is the times where people in that sense who want their pension, who want their Social Security, are going to have a very hard time getting it, right? It's going to be challenging for them because there's nothing but chaos. It's disorganized chaos because there really is no government running things right now. It's all up in shambles. and it needs to be reorganized. I feel 2025 will be a better year for that. But right now, a lot of it is in shambles, and that you need to look in different sectors because there is going to be assistance for people like that. But do not look towards the government. Okay? Please do your research. Please look around. People know what I'm talking about, and they do have some legitimate organizations or groups that are able to help seniors, disabled people, etc. Please post it here. Okay? You're helping a lot of people by doing that. Thank you very much. Okay, guys, we're going to take one more question. I'm going to wrap up today. Okay, I'm going to look at this question here. Hello, Brad. What is the future of love robots with AI? Is this part of a depopulation? Okay, I think I know what you're talking about. Kind of like sex robots in that way. Fortunately, guys, it's going to continue to happen, right? I can look into these things intuitively. I feel it's going to continue to happen. Is it a depopulation agenda? No. No, I don't think so. But it's people in that sense who basically can't stay with a relationship, and they basically get sex bots, right? And they fool around with those in that sense. But unfortunately, guys, that's an industry that's actually going to be on the rise. There's going to be a lot of AI. There's going to be a lot of robots that will specifically be meant for that. And I don't see a lot of people having that, but I don't think it'll have enough customers for them to continue in business, right? The whole world needs healing, my friends. And like I said, when it's a person who's completely wounded, they've been hurt in relationships, and now all of a sudden all they really want is just lust, or they're probably just going to go after these love robots, right? But is it part of a depopulation agenda? No. Guys, there really is no depopulation agenda, right? Even when people have talked about it, that's never really what's been on the cards, okay? It's much more in the idea that it's giving a motivation for people to change, that we would never have that. Repopulation, yes. Depopulation, no, okay? Repopulation, like I said, is for those who can sink or those who can swim. Right? If you're sinking into despair and everything's horrible and the world's terrible and you just want to take advantage of people and you're miserable and you're greedy and the greed has taken over you and your heart is basically turned black and you don't care about anyone, anything, well, obviously you're going to sink, right? The person in that sense who knows that they're going through challenges, that they're opening their heart, that they want to make themselves better, that they want to help other people, you are swimming beautifully. Okay, that's really what it comes down to. Like I said, the lines are being drawn out. It's exactly what I talked about yesterday. If you guys have not seen my webcast yesterday with Adronis, please watch it. Okay, it was a phenomenal webcast. There was really good questions that were coming about and really good answers coming about at the same time. Okay, so the future of those love robots, they're going to continue to be in demand for quite some time. Okay, until there's more healing being brought upon the earth. Right? It's people in that sense, like I said, they're just lust-filled, that basically just want to have all this for sex, and they don't feel like they can have a proper relationship, and so they go and resort to that. And unfortunately, that's going to be a growing industry. Okay, but I don't see it as a Depop agenda at all. All right. So thank you, everybody, for your questions today. We're out of time for today. So I'll be back tomorrow once again for the Etherics Healing Webcast. Okay. So you just go to youtube.com/@EthericStore. Go ahead and subscribe there. And again, I'll be doing a webcast there tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Pacific, okay, doing distance healing with everybody. And again, doing a giveaway at the same time. So come and join me tomorrow. Thank you, everybody, for being a part of the webcast today. And I will see you tomorrow. Om Shanti, 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 Namaskar. Remember the power that is within you, right? Bring yourself to center. Go into the heart. And everything will come your way. And I mean that very literally. It needs to start here. All right. Blessings, guys. Take care. Namaskar.